Alcohol. Chances are if you drink too much of it, it's going to mess you up. So today we want to be talking about 12 amazing things to expect when you stop drinking. Now, I had a drinking problem for close to a decade and I tried all of these things. I tried AA, I tried moderation, and I haven't drank for about 2.5 years now. So these 12 things, you're gonna love them. Make sure to watch all 12. Very quickly before we get into it, guys, if you do want my help stopping drinking, there's a short video that explains the process that I take people through to help them stop drinking without AA, without willpower, without rehab. Short video to watch, you'll be able to book a call. But for now, let's jump into it. So the very first thing that you can expect is your confidence comes back. So when I was a drinker, my self-confidence was definitely a lot lower. And I know that a lot of other people that drink alcohol also say the same kind of thing, because what they're doing is they're putting a poison in their body. And what this does is it kind of, every time you take a sip, your confidence takes a hit. And if you've been drinking for many years, like I had done, it was multiple hits, multiple times. So because you're going through this self-destructive behavior of drinking a drug, of drinking a poison, not only does that hit your confidence, but then you're waking up with a hangover, you're waking up with low energy, boom, another hit to your confidence. You might have told yourself that you're gonna go to the gym that day, or you're gonna do something with your kids or do something with your family, and you're not showing up and your energy is not just there, and confidence takes another hit. And you know, when you drink alcohol, your self-esteem and your confidence, it isn't at 100%. I don't care even if you're the most cool, put together person that drinks alcohol, if you remove that, your confidence will go to heights that it has never been before. If you feel like a confident person, even as a drinker, when you remove it, I'm telling you, your confidence will reach heights that it is just, it's incredible. You will feel very, very comfortable in your own skin. You won't feel like you just don't feel bad about yourself because you stopped poisoning yourself and you're making progress. You're able to do two things together. So you get that confidence back, you know, you'll be smiling, you'll be happy, you'll want to talk to strangers again. And I'm telling you, when you stop drinking, your confidence will go through the roof. Now, the second thing, guys, is you start to find purpose again. This is going to sound a bit strange, but when I drank, I didn't really know my purpose. I didn't really know what I was meant to do. I'm not saying that I wasn't making some progress in life. I was going forwards by all means, but I wasn't really sure what I was here to do. I was always kind of clouded in thinking about what I wanted and, you know, what value am I going to provide in the world? I never really knew that. And I know a lot of people struggle with this. I know a lot of people, they feel like a lack of purpose. And when they're drinking, that purpose gets clouded. So when we're kind of teenagers, we can often kind of, or when we're in our young 20s, we have a lot of optimism and we're really ready to go for it. And we think, you know, we can tackle the world. And then as we go through this purpose and this kind of vision that we've got, it gets clouded. And when we drink, it's very hard to kind of think like, what am I here to do? And when you remove the alcohol, well, I'm not saying that this happens overnight, it progresses over time. So when I stopped drinking, I started to find purpose again. And the things that I did started to have more meaning. So when I was doing things within the day, let's say I was making a video, let's say I was talking to somebody, let's say I was meeting a girl, going on a date, it had more meaning behind it, which in a sense is like a purpose. Now that purpose has just developed over time. So it kind of started, life started having more purpose in the short term. And then as my sobriety, like as I got longer into it, well, I started to get like a bigger ideal. I started to get a real purpose and helping people stop drinking and do all of that stuff. I developed like a true purpose, and that didn't happen overnight. I'm not saying that there's going to be some miracle where you just go, boom, oh my God, I know exactly what I want to do with my life. But when you don't drink, it becomes clearer. You start to get new ideas. You start to you kind of get the courage to dream bigger as well. You get the courage to go, well, actually, maybe there is a better world that I can create. Maybe there is like a higher self or a big purpose that I can aim for. And that starts to come. It comes over time. I'm not saying, like I said, it's not an overnight process, but you can definitely expect to live more purposefully. The third thing, guys, and this one is awesome, you start to reignite old friendships. Now, when I drank, I would have acquaintances and I would have friends. And the acquaintances are the people that I drank with, and my friends are my real friends. And when I was like heavily drinking and really getting in it, the friends kind of, you know, I would spend less time with friends, I'd spend a bit less time with family, and I would personally spend more time with the acquaintances. Or even if I was drinking alone, I'd just spend more time alone. I wouldn't be calling my friends in the nighttime because I'd be out drinking or whatever it was, right? And what happened when I stopped drinking is I could reignite my old friendships and really build much deeper, much more meaningful friendships with my real friends. So, I've got some really, really good friends that I kind of neglected when I was drinking. I wasn't really making the time for them. I wasn't showing up with the good energy. I wasn't being a very good friend. And what you put into a friendship, you get out. So I kind of stopped doing that. But then when I stopped drinking I'd start putting my energy back into the right people again. I'd start reigniting these old friendships. We'd start talking again. We'd start hanging out again. And we really start to connect on that meaningful, deep level. And that is just such a beautiful thing that you can expect. You can expect these old friendships that you've got just to start coming back to life again. And, real friends, it doesn't matter. Like, I've got one friend called Richard, and he doesn't watch the channel, but he was like my best friend in high school. And it's so weird. Like, I remember we met each other like a few years ago. We hadn't seen each other for a long time. And it was like, boom, we just picked it up from where we left off. And, those real friends that you've got, those people like that, where it doesn't matter if you've not seen them for years and you meet them and it's like you just hit the ground running again. Those type of people. Well, you can reignite with those people again and really start to put energy into the real good friendships that you've got. That is just a really, really awesome thing. Now, the fourth thing, guys, is clarity. Now, every video that I've made on this channel talking about benefits of not drinking, I always speak about clarity because it's massive. Not only do you get short-term clarity, but you also get this long-term clarity. So in the short term, your days are better. You're more organized in the daytime. You're more clear about who you want to be, how you want to show up, and so on. And in the short term, you're just able to think through things clearly. Your clarity in your thoughts and the way that you're able to process things and organize things are so much better, right? That's the short term, right? Because, when you're drinking and the energy's not there and the hangovers and you're just not feeling like 100% and you kind of have like this fog, right? Where you're just like, that goes in the short term. But the big thing is when you don't drink for a good period of time where, you're a few months into it, well, you start to get clarity for the long term. You start to think about what you really want. You start to create these dreams and these real ideals that you're aiming for. I know it kind of ties into purpose because they're kind of related, right? When you get more clarity, you can then start to develop purpose and so on. But the point of the matter is that when you are not drinking, you are not cloudy anymore. You have clarity. You're able to organize your thoughts. You're able to think about what you want. You can set goals. You can communicate more clearly. And the clarity of thinking is a game changer. It will change everything about your life. It's just incredible. So that one is massive. Now, the fifth thing, guys, is your organization and your ability to plan and be productive will go through the roof. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is going to happen overnight. For some people, it's going to take a few days, a few weeks, even up to a month, where they're kind of just going through the motions and getting sober and withdrawing and doing all of that stuff. For some people, that process takes a long time. So I'm not saying that this is an overnight thing. For some people, it is. For me, this was within a few days, I was more productive, right? I went through, a few days of just like, almost like this sleepy mindset. And then a few days after that, I'm getting productive. I'm organizing my time. I'm planning my days. I'm working hard and I'm doing the good stuff again because you've got the clarity, right? You've got better energy. You're able to kind of think, and then what you're able to do is just plan your time better. You're able to kind of make daily plans, and rather than going out, getting drunk or drinking in the evening and then just like falling asleep on the couch or whatever it is that we do when we drink, right? Rather than doing that, well, your night times are free, right? So at nighttime, you've got this free time where you can think, okay, what do I want to do tomorrow? I'll make a little plan. I'll make a to-do list. I'll see what I've got to do. And then you can just do that the next day. And your productivity, you just get so much more done. And because, like I've said this before, but you take one step forward, then another step forward, then another step forward, then another step forward, then another step forward, and so on. Instead of taking 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 3 steps back. You're just going boom, 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 boom. So you are getting more done, but it stacks, right? So these productive days, they just stack up on one another. And all of a sudden, you kind of look back and you're like, oh my God, and this has been one of the most productive few weeks of my life. That's going to be a game changer. Productivity will go through the roof. Again, not only because of the energy, because of the clarity, the free time that you're going to have, and the ability to organize your time. It's going to be amazing. The sixth thing, guys, is respect from your family. Now, I love my family. I've got an amazing family. I've got a great mum. I've got a great relationship with my nana and my auntie. I've got some really nice cousins. I've got a little brother. I've got like this awesome family. And I've also got this beautiful girlfriend and then my extended family there. And what happened when I drank is that they kind of lost respect for me because I would tell them all the time that I'm going to stop drinking. And then I'd go AWOL for 2 weeks and I wouldn't be calling them. I wouldn't be texting them. And I think I'd lost a lot of their respect. And I know that's kind of like a painful thing to say, and some people may even just turn this video off now, but that doesn't matter. When you don't drink, and when you are true to your word, And when people can see you progressing, especially your family, well, they start to gain a new level of respect for you. They start to look at you again and they start to think like, he's really done it this time. He's really done what he said he was going to do. That is just one of the most beautiful things that you will ever experience. When your family start to respect you again, when they start to look up to you again and start to say that, you know, they're just so happy with you. It's one of the most beautiful things that has ever happened in my life. You know, I can now like financially take care of my family. I can send them money at Christmas. I can pay for my nana's rent. I can do the things that I wanted to do. And now I've got their respect again. Now they respect me. Now they know that I'm true to my word. I'm so happy about that. And, you know, when you stop drinking, that is going to be so cool for you to experience as well. The seventh thing, guys, is you start to set an example, right? By holding yourself to this higher standard, by holding yourself above what most people kind of do. So most people don't really hold themselves to a standard where they don't drink. Most people are just kind of in this pit and in this cycle. You know, I'm sorry to say it, but that's what most people are like. So by immediately stopping drinking, you almost raise your standards a lot higher than a lot of people out there. Because there is no benefit to drinking. There is no benefit to getting drunk. It does nothing for anybody, right? So just immediately, you kind of start to set an example for people. You kind of start to give permission for other people to kind of go the path that you're going. So you become almost like a better leader. You're kind of showing people, right, this is what is possible for you. And I hope I'm explaining this well. I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. But you start to set an example for people and you kind of give permission for other people to raise their standards. So just by not by changing anything about you, just by stopping drinking, and other people will start taking notice and they'll kind of want to follow suit. That will just naturally happen. That happens for most people that stop drinking. That's going to be cool. You're going to be setting an example. You're going to be a better leader. The eighth thing that you can expect is way better energy. You will have this new energy, and it's like, it kind of ties into confidence because you have like this confident energy where you're going through the day with like your chest higher, your chin a bit higher, your eyes are more open, you're smiling more, and you've got this good positive energy that you can put out into the world. And now if you've got a business or a career, that will actually, I know this is going to sound strange, but when you consistently put out that really good, clean, happy energy, and you do it again and again and again, well, the people around you take notice. And when it comes to like business and career, I'm telling you, there's something mysterious that happens when you put good energy out to customers or you put good energy out to employers. It comes back to you in the form of money. I know that sounds weird. I fully believe that the more energy that you put out there, the more that you help people, the more that you give that good positive vibes out there, the more that comes back to you. And that could be new relationships, new friendships, more money. That the energy stuff is it's weird. I don't want to go woo-woo on you guys and like scare people off the channel because I'm talking about something maybe a bit spiritual or whatever. But the energy that you put out is different because it's not filled with poison anymore. It's filled with, I don't know, you just like got this natural positive vibe about you when you don't drink. And I'm not saying that that's going to be for everybody. Some people may just have a negative mindset, but when you don't drink, it's much easier to adopt to a positive mindset, to adopt to good positive energy. And that's, I hope I don't scare any of you guys off, but that's what happens. It's amazing. You get better energy. The ninth thing is you will lose more body fat, potentially. Some people may not. There may be some people that stop drinking, they're very skinny, they might not get a good amount of nutrition in, and for them, that might mean that they eat a lot more, they get the appetite comes back, the taste comes back, so they eat more, so they put on body fat. But for most people, they lose body fat. The pounds start dropping off, their stomach is getting thinner, their waist is getting a little bit smaller, people are starting to take notice, clothes get a little bit looser and things like that. That is definitely a possibility. It happened to me. I was like, when I drank, I'd eat worse, I wouldn't exercise as much, I'd kind of like just like filled out a little bit. And then when I stopped, I just got back in the gym again, and I wasn't drinking, so there's the less calories from the alcohol, there's the less calories from the bad food, I was eating better. So almost immediately, body fat for me started going down. And I know for some people that's going to be different, but you can expect less body fat if you're packing on too much additional pounds. The 10th thing is that you can expect more muscle gains. So just naturally, when you don't drink, you've got that energy, you've got that clarity, you know what you want. Most people, not everybody, right? But most people are going to get into some kind of exercise regime. They're going to start hitting the gym. They're going to start doing some running. They're going to start doing some press-ups. They might even do some CrossFit. Who knows? I won't go into CrossFit in this video, but I love CrossFit. And people really start to exercise more. So naturally, when you exercise more, you're going to get a bit more muscle gain. You're going to get a bit more of a tone. You're going to just increase muscle mass, get a bit of strength in there. And you can definitely expect that. I'm not saying that is like for everybody. Some people just have got no interest in exercise, which, I'm not telling you should exercise. I'm just telling you what you could expect when you don't drink. But if you don't drink, you've got the energy, you've got the clarity, and you start hitting the gym again, well, yeah, you can definitely expect some muscle gain. And like I said before, it's one step forward. It's like a little bit of progress every single day. It's like the progressive overload in the gym. Well, that will happen. And because you're not getting drunk and you're not knocking back your progress, well, you can expect to get some good muscle gains. The 11th thing, guys, is a bigger bank balance. So not only are you saving money from alcohol, right? So you could be potentially saving $500 a month, $1,000 a month, right? So you stretch that out over a year, $6,000, $12,000. For some people, $20,000 a year. People spend quite a bit of money on alcohol. So not only are you saving money, but the big thing that most people don't realize, especially professionals and business owners, is that they are leaving so much money on the table by drinking. And you might be in a position now where your business is okay, your career is okay. It's not like you're struggling and really, things are just okay. But what people don't realize is that how much money they're leaving on the table by drinking it's like potentially tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And people don't understand that. They think because things are okay, they might be making 6 figures, they might be making 20,000 a month. But when they don't drink, that can go up to 25 to 30. I work with people that have had fat pay rises. They've got more clients just because they are not drinking, and it will change everything about money. So at the end of the day, you can really expect a bigger bank balance. And the 12th thing, guys, is that you can really expect more time for the most important person, yourself. You can create space for yourself, you can create time for yourself, you can really start to create like routines around self-care and self-love, and you can really start to look after yourself again, which is gonna be incredible. When we're drinking, we often neglect ourselves. We don't really create the space for ourselves, we don't really create the time for ourselves to kind of look after ourselves. And when you don't drink, you will have the time again to look after you, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, don't forget, guys, if you want my help stopping drinking, short video to watch in the description. And if you click the videos on the screen now, you can learn more about the reframing technique as well as some of the major benefits of not drinking. Thanks a lot.